what I want to do today is I want to talk about the start of the downswing. Now, the start of the downswing will always feel different depending on the type of swing that you generally have. And that's why if you have a playing partner, their swing thoughts will differ slightly from yours. Because some golfers end up swinging over the top and a bit too much this way, and other golfers kind of maybe slide too much and they get stuck underneath, and that's why you get differing thoughts, and that's fine because everyone can kind of figure out what it is that they need to do to get better. But what I want to really associate it to is ball striking. So once you've kind of got this backswing position, what we really are looking for as we start the downswing is a movement downward. So it's got to be a movement downward and a movement to the lead side. So it's got to look something like so. Now the reason why this is so important is because I meet a lot of people, particularly online nowadays, and their first move is a very much a sort of upward motion. So the shoulder goes up and the pelvis moves this way. And the problem is when you move like that, the club's immediately going to get stuck and dumped behind you. So your hands end up working too wide, and then by the time you hit it, you're going to be scooping it. And that's obviously just something that you don't want to be doing. So the way you're going to improve that is first of all in the backswing position, having a nice centralized turn. But then from here, as you start the downswing, just getting the feeling of moving in a downward fashion. So see the way my lead shoulder moves down and my pelvis moves down in towards my lead side. And that's going to make life so much easier in regards to contact. And I would say that the easiest way to do this, okay, would be to progressively move your golf ball further forward. So if I set up, let's set up 3 golf balls here, okay. And what we'll do is we'll paint the downswing of the golfer, because this is, I would say, like 80-90% of golfers generally kind of get the arms stuck behind the body and get too scoopy. So if I set up, and this ball position here is obviously my centralized ball position, and I move these 3. So for the golfer who gets their arms stuck behind and a bit stuck, they would still be able to hit this golf ball. Okay, they'd be able to sort of, because the low point's occurring so early, they'd still be able to hit that one. And obviously in the balls in the center, they're still going to be able to hit sort of this one as well. But when you start to move the ball further forward, all of a sudden that golfer can't now strike that one because the club's coming down earlier and it's rising. And that's why I think probably the simplest drill for you to sort of work on is just try to hit the ground opposite your lead foot. Because trying to hit the ground opposite your lead foot really requires a very much a downward motion. See what I'm doing here? Like so. And I really like that. And then what you can start to do is a lot of golfers then go, well, that feels a bit steeper. Well, it will. And that's when then as you start the downswing, if your body's going down and towards your lead side, that's why you need to do things like shallow the club and drive your elbow to the side of it, because it stops the club tumbling down this way and it helps you keep the club on plane that bit longer. But again, ball striking really is going to be, 2 major factors. The first one is obviously what your body's doing, so we can't afford to move too much towards the trail side and get stuck behind. We have to stay more centralized and move more to the lead side. And the second one is the hands move, but your hands are going to be a directive of where your shoulder moves. So if you have a backswing which kind of goes like this, your hands are going to work too wide. So your shoulder goes down and around, your hands can get over the ball. And that's why, again, I think the pure simplicity is, you'll generally find, and I see it with students, you will find that if you just practice hitting the ground further forward, it will make you move so much better. Let me know how you get on.